Hey everyone, this is Davey Mooney coming to you from the University of North Texas, where I run the jazz guitar program. I'm a Benedetto artist, Sunnyside Records artist. I got my Sunnyside Records output up here. The newer one, Live at National Sawdust, Benign Strangers, Hope of Home, Perrier Street. Got my improv book, Personalizing Jazz Vocabulary, getting the new book in shape for eventual publication. And shout out to Jazz Guitars today for collaborating with me to get these videos out there. I've been really enjoying this series. I get to just try to talk about the tunes that I love to play and I love to teach here at UNT to my guitar students and other students. And today I want to talk about the Bill Evans song, Turn Out the Stars. Bill Evans, great jazz pianist, recorded this tune. I think the first recording is 66-ish. On Intermodulation, one of his great duo records with Jim Hall that I love so much. Undercurrent from a few years before that, and Intermodulation, and they did some collaborations, he and Jim Hall, in other settings, but the duo records are particularly great. And it's also recorded by, a bunch of people record this song, but Kurt Rosenwinkel on East Coast Love Affair. That's a great version with Abishai Cohen and bass Abishai Cohen and Jorge Rossi. Really stellar guitar trio record of Kurt Rosenwinkel's. And Bill Evans was a really prolific composer and recorder. His output, he made so many records. I like all his work. I'm particularly drawn to the period of Everybody Digs Bill Evans up through around the mid 60s. That's my stuff. I love that music. I love the emotional connection that he made, at least with me. And there was this great combination of the emotional intensity in his playing and also sort of technical brilliance and a very logical approach to everything that he did, the rhythmic accuracy of everything in there. And with the compositions, I think it's a similar thing. I love this tune a lot. I also love Very Early. That's a great waltz of his. Really difficult to memorize, I find, that song. Let's see, we've got Time Remembered, The Two Lonely People is another great one. Waltz for Debbie is probably the most famous. But anyway, this Turn Out the Stars, it goes through, I didn't actually count how many key areas it makes it to, but it's pretty intense. Just the way it covers so much harmonic ground and just different keys, and everything feels so logical. You listen to it, you wouldn't necessarily realize how much it's moving around. So let's dive right in. It's starts out with a little 2/5 in A minor, and then a 5 of D minor, 2/5 to C. Kind of goes to the relative minor there too, A minor. Different people, as always, there's slight variations on the harmony in different people's versions, but I find with this tune, there's so many chords in there already that people don't mess with it too much. They might mess with the bass motion or put in a tritone sub here or there, but most of the chords are already written into the tune. So, 2/5 to A minor, 2/5 to C, then a 2/5 to E flat, then he goes to the relative minor, C minor, and then 2/5 to G, to E minor, relative minor, and then a 2/5 to B, and the same thing. And I always thought that was kind of interesting because once he gets to that E flat, does a 2/5 to E flat, he does this sort of giant steps cycle of keys, right? He goes from E flat to G to B. And I don't know if that was in his mind consciously, just the idea of those relationships, those mediant, relationships of key areas moving in major thirds, I guess is pretty common in romantic harmony of the romantic classical period, of which I'm not an expert, but I think that's accurate to say, your Schumanns and your Schuberts and your probably your Chopins. There's got to have some of that stuff in there. Anyway. So where were we? So it's a lot of chords. So just from the top again, 2/5 to A minor, 2/5 to C, 2/5 to E flat, 2-5 to G, 2-5 to B, relative minor again, and then here it changes a little bit. He goes right back to the C sharp minor, the 2-5 of the 2 in the key of B, walks down to like a A sharp minor 7 flat 5, D sharp 7. Now I feel like I'm talking about windows again because it's that awkward. Do I want to call it an A sharp? I think I'm going to call it a B flat minor 7 flat 5 to an E flat 7 to A flat minor. Kind of walks down like windows again, then F minor 7 flat 5, B flat 7, E minor, and that kind of walks down to the bridge. So yeah, that was A minor, C, E flat, G, B, A flat minor, I think, E flat minor. So that's seven keys. And too, it's like as a jazz educator and someone who came up studying this music in the 90s and 2000s, this tune is very, the 2-5-iness of it is very, it's a good vehicle for teaching people how to play on, key areas and do 2-5s and things like that. It's very, very convenient. So that takes us up to the bridge where you have, Bill Evans does it over a pedal. So he has like an A sus, A7 to D major. I think the Rosenwinkel version, they just do like a 2-5. They do like E minor, A7, D major. Did I say that right? E minor, A7, D major, and then you do that twice, and then the 2-5 and C again. 2-5, C, C7, or kind of G minor, C7 maybe. And then there's another section, so that's pretty straightforward. You feel like you get a break for a second. It kind of reminds me of In Your Own Sweet Way a little bit, the Dave Brubeck tune. This song in general kind of is a little bit of that, maybe just in the bridge. But then the next section, you've got B7 to E minor, B flat 7, and a little tritone sub going down to A7 to D minor, and then A flat 7, tritone sub of going to G7 to C minor. And so this is kind of another section of the tune. So you have B7, E minor, B flat 7, A7, D minor, A flat 7, G7, and then he goes B flat minor, E flat 7, A flat, C7, F minor. 2-5 to C minor, and that kind of repeats again. C minor, B flat minor, E flat 7, A flat major, G7, C, F sharp 7. And then, only then do you get a kind of short reprise of the very beginning of the song. So there isn't a lot of repetition of material, harmonic material. Although the theme of the da 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 kind of goes through there in different permutations. So again, coming out of that bridge, just to go over this again because it's complicated, so many chords. So we got a 2-5 of E minor, then that becomes 5 of A7 through a tritone sub, then E minor, B flat 7 sharp 11, A7, D minor, A flat 7 sharp 11, G7, C minor, and then this section you kind of have a little walk down to A flat major, C minor, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat major, then C7, F minor. And then that kind of repeats, so you go to C minor again, A flat major, you're going through B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat major, then G7, C major, instead of C7, the first time C7, F minor, the second time G7, C major. And then an F sharp 7, B minor 7 flat 5, E7 A minor, so that's a little bit of a repeat, but then this changes again. To get back to the top, instead of going through the cycle of keys again, he does his 2-5 to A minor, and then he does like E flat minor, A flat 7, or sometimes it's all over an A flat pedal, and then C sharp minor, F sharp 7, and it's like a 2-5 back to the top of the song. So yeah, gosh, well, it was 7 keys before we got to the bridge, and I wonder how many he goes through, major and minor. Quite a few. Y'all can, that's a good something to keep you busy in the dog days of summer if you want to go through and count how many keys he goes through in this tune. And you know, his songs are like that. Two Lonely People, that's a really, I tried to memorize that at one point. I was very ambitious with trying to memorize these really hard songs. And you know, I know a lot of them. I remember that one. I used to play it a lot. I don't play it as much these days, Turn Out the Stars, but I think I'm going to do it in my improv class to, you know, get it back in my repertoire. But it's a great tune. You could do it as a waltz too, you know. The Rosenwinkel version is kind of a nice medium swing, or slow, not medium swing, like slow swing. That's how I like to play on it. I heard somebody do it in 5 once too, of course, in New York, you know, in the 2000s. Everything ended up in 5 at one point. But yeah, again, that's a good one. I think I'm going to do a video too on Very Early, because it covers a lot of ground too, and it's a little quirkier. I appreciate how it's, you know, Bill Evans is such a logical, everything he does is very easy to, not easy to, but you can kind of analyze it in a maybe like Western harmonic sense, maybe a little bit easier than sometimes jazz music, and classic jazz has some elements that you can't quite classify. You can classify a lot of it and analyze it with the correct European system, and then there's this other stuff that you're like, what is that? And that's kind of part of what makes it interesting. With Bill Evans' music, it's, you know, like I said, it's beautiful, but at times it's a little easier to just fit into that framework. But Very Early is kind of weird. But anyway, I'm going to play a few choruses here on Turn Out the Stars, that medium swing tempo, and try to explore some of this stuff, make it through all these keys. All right, hope you enjoy it.